Welcome back to Winter's Model Farms. Today we're going to be reviewing a toy that Ertl came out with in the last month or so, and it is the Early Riser 2150 planter. We got this one at a H&R Agri-Power up in Poseyville, Indiana. Alright, so the back, if you can see here, gives you some stats. If you want to read those, you can pause the video and do that, but it just kind of tells you some information about the real planter. So I'm going to get this thing out. And what I did bring to kind of give us a little bit of a standard to compare against is I have a speccast early riser. I have this 24-row model. I also did grab my 16-row model because this is a 16 to kind of compare these two. Then I want to use a 24 so we can compare the tanks on them. I also have a 12-row, but I'm not going to use that in the comparison video because I don't really think it's relevant for this. So this is a 2150, which is the newer model planters from Ertl, the 50 series. The speccast, these have been out for a while, and they are the 1255s. All the different row unit ones are 1255s, and this is the 2150, like I said. Now, whenever these things fold out in real life, you know, that's how they do it, the same as a toy. So they do a good job replicating that. Only problem I'm seeing with this one is that, I don't know, you can see this only goes to about here. And you really can't see probably on the camera, but these wings aren't open quite all the way. It's kind of just catching a little bit of a, I don't know, a quality problem with Ertl. Maybe they didn't engineer this quite good enough on the toy where that plastic is just too thick there and it won't open quite all the way up. I mean, it's close. It's going to look close sitting there, but I can visibly tell that it's just not open all the way, and it bothers me. So that is one thing I'm kind of not happy about this, but other than that, it's a pretty good looking toy. It is plastic. We've got plastic arms, plastic here. That seems to be die cast. So the only parts that are die cast is this center piece, and then we've got this center piece. It's got some die cast, but also some plastic formed into it. But most of it's plastic, really lightweight. But there is a little bit of die cast on that. So the marker arms do fold, so that looks good. See, both of them will fold. They'll fold back up. Run them like that. Anything. They all they move really well. Another thing here, we've got a little air compressor on there, right here. So that's a pretty cool detail that they added. It is plastic, but it's painted different two-tone colors. You got some black and red, so that's a nice little detail they gave us. And then we've got our I'm not quite sure what this is over here. I don't know if that's a fan or what that is, but we've got something else on this side, so nice detail there. Our logos, I don't know if you can read the decals on camera there, but good 2150 Case IH Early Riser decal that is on both sides of our hoppers. So we have that. We've got another Case IH decal on here, so that is another good detail. The tires look really good. They actually, just looking at them at first, I thought they were going to be a two-piece mold with like rubber on it, but it's just one solid piece of plastic. But the way they did the paint job just makes it kind of look like a rubber tire, so that was pretty cool. Another thing, we do have some hydraulic cylinders up under here, so when this folds, they do come in and out. Very similar to the John Deere planters that Ertl has made. I don't have one sitting next to me, but you know, it's that same, very similar build quality from Ertl. Now what Ertl did give us was a tank up here, so you could put some fertilizer in it or other things, but a liquid fertilizer tank. So that is a nice addition. The front here, this would be how you can raise and lower the planter. It is in a fixed position, and in the die cast they tried to put the jack stands in there. It kind of looks goofy to me, but at least they tried. Now I'm going to kind of bring in the speccast 16 row here. As you can see, that front with the hydraulic cylinder on the speccast does raise and lower. We've got a lot more metal on the speccast. The tires raise and lower, but the seed hoppers look pretty much the same on both of these. The speccast one's a little bit taller almost than the Ertl one, but for the most part, they're very close to the same. I just noticed too, there's like a little AFS logo on that Case IH decal as well. You won't be able to pick that up on the camera. The 24 row here, this is where I think Ertl actually did a better job than speccast. If you look at this tank, the straps are actually painted black on that one, but not on the speccast. You can see the relief here, but it's not painted. So I give Ertl some kudos for that, throwing some paint on that. And it actually looks better than the fertilizer tank on the speccast, so that is pretty neat. One thing, I don't know if this is an Ertl thing or if this is just the way the real ones are, but if you notice, there's 2 wheels on these planters on the wings, but only 1 on the Ertl. And I thought that was weird because most of our 16 row planters have 2 wheels on the outside. This is the first 16 row toy that I've seen that doesn't. So I don't know if the real ones, I haven't looked into that, only have 1, or if Ertl just kind of cheaped out. So not sure about that. Have to look into that. Another thing, the speccast has the real jack stands that can be put in here. So you can see the size of those jack stands is a lot bigger than what the little ones that Ertl tried to stamp into the side of that. So, oh well, it's a good toy for the. I think we paid around $18 for this one. I mean, I remember when the John Deere planters were like $12, and it's really no different quality, but I guess just with the price of everything, toys, they keep getting higher just like everything else, so I guess it's to be expected. No handrails on the back. Speccast is going to have handrails, which of course you pay for all that. But from Ertl, I'd say it's a solid planter. Let's hook it up behind a tractor. Got a little 290 here. So it's a good looking 16 row planter. It's great if you're wanting more of a toy. It's probably going to be pretty durable. Excuse me. It's not going to break or anything like that. If you want to check out these speccast planters, I do have a video where I have all 3 of them and do a pretty thorough review. It's a pretty older one. I'll try to pull that up and link it in the description, so that way you can find that if you're interested in seeing more on the speccast planters. But overall, for the price, not a bad planter. Pretty good row units and everything. I guess I forgot to show that real quick. Row units got a little bit of paint on it, so it's not just all one color. So that is nice. But overall, I would definitely say if you don't have any planters and you're looking for one, it'd be a good starting planter for a collection. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone.